Hello, this video is asking us to make a stem and leaf plot for this set of data. Now, a stem and leaf plot is just a way to organize your data, and so it's kind of you organize it from least to greatest, but you kind of stem it off where you group all of your 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s together. As you can see, our lowest number here is 14. Our greatest number is 58. So that means that you're going to have all those numbers listed, but to the left is just going to be everything in front of the last digit. So it's important to remember that your leaves are always a single digit, and then the stems, which are on the left side, is everything else that's in front of it. This data set is a little simple because it's just a 2-digit number. So it's your right side here is going to be your ones, and the left side is going to be the tens. So that makes it a little bit easy. Now we can see we're going from 14 all the way to 58. So you do have to list all of them. So we're going to put a 1 here. You don't put 10, but the 1 on the left represents your tens. And then you do have to put a 2, 3, 4, and 5. So again, you don't put 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. It's just the number that's in front of that single digit. So since 14 is our lowest digit, as you can see here, then you'd put a 4 on the right side. So that's how you create that data point in your stem and leaf plot. That creates your key. The key down here where it asks for that, this is for, like, if I just gave you this without the data set sitting here, you wouldn't necessarily know what this represents, and so the key is supposed to describe that. So all you're saying is that you're going to put a 1, and then you put a bar, and then a 4, and that represents the number 14. Now I've already got my data organized in this list, and just for the sake of time. And so just remember, if you hit your STAT button, you can put all that data in there. If you wanted to sort it, you hit sort A, and then your main screen, you have to do that from the main screen, and then you hit second L1, or second 1, which gets you L1, and then it will sort all that data for you. My calculator, you can kind of see it right here, but on your calculator, you can just go back into your stat list, and you can see it all organized. That makes it a little bit faster. And we also notice is that we don't have anything in the 20s. That does not mean you just skip the 20s. You still have to put a 2 here in order to keep your scale the same, but you don't put anything here. What you do not do is you don't put 0. We're not counting how many things. We're listing a data value. So don't put a 0 there. You would just leave it blank on paper. Online, since we need a placeholder, you would put DNE, just kind of as a placeholder for the grading mechanism of the computer. And then you start listing your other values. So we have 33, and it does have to be in numerical order, another 33, and then a 35. Those are my 30s. Then I have a 42. I have a 46, 48, and a 49. And then we have our 50s. So we have 50, so we do put a 0 there to represent 50, and then 51, 53, 54, 56, 57, and 58, and that's it. All right, so that is all of our data set in our stem and leaf plot. And you can see how it's kind of shaped, which is why we talk about this stuff, but everything goes from least to greatest. So every single one of these represents a separate data value. So talking about that shape, it could either be symmetrical, skewed left, skewed right, or bimodal, or uniform. Now this one is definitely not symmetrical, and what we see is that it starts off with the lower numbers, just kind of a single value, and then we get more and more and more. So this is actually what we consider skewed. It's skewed, and it's skewed left. Right? So skewed left is because the tail's off to the left side. There's more data on the right, but the tail is off to the left, and so that's the direction it is being skewed. I'd say that there is an outlier here. That outlier is 14, is pretty far away from the rest of the values of 33 up to the 50s. And the center is the median. So you could count, especially now that these are in numerical order, there's 15 different values. So the middle one is going to be the 8th value. So you could count up and see which one is the 8th, which would be 49. So our median is 49 because that means that there are 7 above 49. You can count all those, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there are 7 above 49, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could also just use your calculator, since we already got this stuff entered in here, and you can calculate your 1 var stats of this particular list, and you'd see the median there is listed in our 5-number summary as 49 as well. And finally, the spread is just talking about the minimum to maximum, so you just write 14-58, and that is how we describe the spread of our values. So that's how you use a stem and leaf plot to organize your data and then do